Lead generation myths. So there's so many myths out there about generating leads.
Yep.
Let's run through some of the myths that's out there for lead generation. I'll let you start.
Lead generation is strictly a numbers game. I hear it all the time, and people just think, oh, if I get 6 million leads, I'm going to have 6 million closed deals, and it's not actually the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you know what though? Like, some men say on the flip side, oh, it's quality over quantity, right? Which is true. But the way I always say it to business owners is you should get quantity of quality leads. So you want as many quality leads as you can, but it's definitely not a numbers game. You need to obviously be going through it. But yeah, quantity of quality leads is something that I always try to preach. Another big one is you need a big budget, and it's not the case. So obviously the bigger budget that you do have and the more resources you can have, you can be on the channel and stuff like that. But you can do it cheaper. And what you can do is if you're tracking your KPIs and you've got the right, let's say, lead generation company, it doesn't need to be that expensive. So a prime example is if businesses qualify over at FatRank, we've got a no-win, no-fee commission-based lead generation service. You only pay on converted jobs. So then you don't need a big budget because you're actually winning the job, you're doing the work, you're making profit, and you pay a percentage of your profit over to FatRank. So it's a big lead generation myth that you need a big budget to think that lead generation will work.
Yeah, that's going to go hand in hand with the next myth that I've got, and that is you don't have to pay for quality leads. Now, I've, in some cases, had free leads that have been quality, but that's because of my personal brand and stuff like that. But on the flip side to it, if you want a really, really, really bespoke lead, you're going to need to typically pay more as well. So, for example, if you're a plumber, getting a lead for a leaky tap might be £2-3 to generate that lead. But if you want like a kitchen or a bathroom renovation or a wet room installation, it's going to cost you more to generate that inquiry.
Yeah, for sure. Another big myth in lead generation is you only need to look at lead generation when you're quiet.
Yeah.
So there's a classic saying that is like, fix the roof when the sun is shining. So people generally start looking to fix the roof when it's raining and there's got a leak. Like if generally speaking, it's a classic saying, but when you're busy, you should still be looking at an inbound, basically leads coming in all the time, winning jobs at the right price. The more leads you have, the more obviously you can increase your prices and stuff like that. But don't just think you need lead generation when you're quiet.
Yeah, definitely. The next one for me is if you've got a website, leads just automatically appear. Now, I wish this was true, but unfortunately it's not. A lot of websites, for anyone that's watching that doesn't understand SEO and marketing, if you throw up a website in your local area for, let's say, lawyers in London, for example, Google's not even going to index that or even actually rank it in like the top 10, top 20, top 30 positions. You might be on page number 80 of Google, and nobody's going to page number 80 or not even page number 3 of Google, never mind page number 80. So unfortunately that's not the case. I mean, it is a good thing to have a website because obviously it's a trust factor. You can upload case studies. If somebody was to actually search for your website, let's say Casual Lawyers or James Dooley Law Firm or whatever, it's always good to actually have that digital presence, but it is not the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah, another big lead generation myth is that if the conversions are bad, it's always the lead generator's fault. And what I mean by that is they shouldn't be naive enough to always just point the finger. They should be looking at everything holistically. How quickly you're trying to kind of get back to the client. If that's an hour, that might be too long. You might have to get back to them within 5-10 minutes in certain industries. Some might be in under a minute. So you should be looking at all KPIs and not just blaming a lead generation company, saying your leads aren't good enough, we're not converting. Should be looking, do you have enough trust signals and everything else? Stop just pointing the finger and physically look at improving every little aspect, from the nurturing, from the actual quality of the leads and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah. Which leads me on to my next one, which is sending more than one email is being a pest. That's definitely not the case. In some cases, you might be having an email conversation with someone and they might just genuinely forget about you. So just having a little bit of a reminder, maybe even emailing at different times as well. So for example, if you're emailing, let's say Sandra, that's picking up the kids every day from Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. or whatever, maybe try emailing her a little bit earlier, maybe try emailing her a little bit later. So have all of these things in your mind as well. Try to think of the type of person that you're emailing, because, I don't know, they might be on holiday, for example.
Yeah. Another big lead generation myth is that lead generation finishes after a sale. Yeah. So you've got after sales, basically, and you've got other ways of generating leads from there. Can they refer a friend, which is part of lead generation? So what else can you be doing after the sale that might be able to generate more leads? If you could leverage that person that had a good experience after the sale of testimonials and case studies and stuff like that, there are other great ways of generating leads. So you need to be looking at everything after the sale of what other ways can we generate leads as well. A big lead generation myth is people just think the lead generation stops at sale and that's it, I've done my job.
Yeah, definitely.
The next one, slightly true, but also false as well, and that social media leads are low quality. Now, the reason why I say it's slightly true is, let's say, for example, you are fitting double glazing windows, right? And if your ad on Facebook says, hey, for everyone that inquires, you get a free iPad, obviously you're going to get a lot of people inquiring and filling out your contact form. And it might look good on the leads side of the spectrum, like you've got 600 leads today, but everyone wants a free iPad. So if you're able to actually nurture the leads properly, if you're asking the right questions on your actual contact form, maybe you've even got stuff like two-factor authentication where you are verifying their email, or you're verifying their actual telephone number, and you're making it hard for, not hard, but you're making them jump through a load of hoops, basically. The quality of the leads will actually be a lot better. So just bear that in mind if you are doing any social media ads, Facebook, Twitter and stuff like that. Social media, it does have a bad rep for being low quality, but it can be very high quality. It's just dependent on how much time and effort you're putting into it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in certain markets, in certain industries, this is where sometimes you need professional advice. Social media can be terrible for leads, but in other markets, it can be really good. So like, I always call it interruption marketing. If you're on Facebook and you're scrolling down Facebook, you're not looking for double glazing windows, so you're just going to, what's that? Do you know what I mean? Or if they're filling it in, they might just be just shopping about, like, but if it's clothing or something like that, looking, oh, I really like that. You've interrupted them, but you've given them something, or there's an offer there that's like, wow, that's good. So it can be really good. Obviously, retargeting comes under social media as well, which can be really good. My last one as being a lead generation myth is lead nurturing's not needed. It's so important to warm up the clients, to be providing so much value, to earning that trust and nurturing those from being a cold web lead or cold lead of however it's been come through, to then nurturing them into giving them what they want. Don't try and force a sale on the first call. Try to offer them advice and help and stuff like that. And then at some point, we're hoping that the product and service of what you're looking to sell is something that they want. Don't force the sale, nurture them along the way, and hopefully by the end of it, you're funneling them down to getting that sale. That's probably the last one for myself with regards to the lead generation myths. Any others? Or?
We've went through the list now, so that has been our lead generation myths. If you think we've missed one, or if you're uncertain of a lead generation myth, drop it down in the comment section and we'll reply back to you.